Well, hello there. Welcome back to my channel, guys. Yes, today I have for you yet again another exciting video. And as you can see, the title suggests, to the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. Now, if you are a Seventh-day Adventist, and especially a seasoned one, a text like this shouldn't be a surprise to you. This is one of the scripture passages that Seventh-day Adventists use to promote law keeping, and if you're a seasoned Seventh-day Adventist, this should be one that you should know quite well. Every former Seventh-day Adventist who are well acquainted with the Seventh-day Adventist Church can attest to the fact that this is one of the scripture passages that are their signature texts. When you read Isaiah chapter 8 and you read verse 20, on the surface it says, to the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. I'm going to read about, let's say, about 3 quotes from Ellen G. White in order for you guys to actually understand how the Seventh-day Adventist Church actually interprets Isaiah 8 verse 20, how they view it to mean. Quotes: the prophet declares a truth by which we may test all doctrine. He says, to the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. Although error abounds in the world, there is no reason why men need remain in deception. The truth is plain, and when it is contrasted with error, its character may be discerned. Now guys, ignore the noise that you may hear in the background. Now let's think about what this quote here is saying. This is how all truth must be tested. To the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. So what Ellen G. White is saying by this is that any form of truth there is, if it goes in contradiction to the law and to the testimony, there is no light in them. So whatever truth is going to be spoken, that truth must say that the law is still applicable and binding for all Christians for all time. This is how they take Isaiah 8 verse 20, and this is how they interpret it. To the law, it means it must agree with the law. It must be showing to be enforcing the law. This is how Seventh-day. So when a Seventh-day Adventist pull a verse like that, they'll use that verse to cancel out anything that you want to say, that we are no longer under the law and that it is not applicable for Christians anymore. They're going to say, what? The Bible said, to the law and to the testimony, if it speaks not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. Don't believe me? There are several other scripture passages, quotes from Ellen G. White, where if you read it, you'll actually see that this is the point she's conveying when the text said to the law and to the testimony. For her and the Seventh-day Adventist Church, it means that anything you're saying must be in accordance with that, because what? We are still under the law. The law is still applicable. I'll put the quotes in the comment section for you all to read. Right? It's down in the comment section for you all to read. No, because I'm not going to waste time to read all of the quotes, I'll put them in the comment section. Let's think about the verse in question here. Isaiah 8 verse 20. I don't plan to do anything deep on this particular verse because it's a rather easy verse to refute. So what I'm going to do, I'm only going to look from verse 19 to 20 and expound on it. So Isaiah 8 verse 19 onwards, it reads thus: and when they shall say unto you, seek unto them that have familiar spirits, and unto wizards, and that mutter, should not a people seek unto their God for the living to the dead? To the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. What is God saying here through the mouth of Isaiah? God is saying here that anyone say to you, you should seek after familiar spirits or after wizards. Shouldn't a people seek unto their God? To the law and to the testimony, if they are not in accordance with this, it is because there is no light in them. So no one should tell you that you should seek after familiar spirits or that you should seek wisdom. Why? Because the law forbids it. So this is what Isaiah is here saying. No one can tell you to do anything that the law actually forbids. This is what Isaiah is actually saying here. Now, what does testimony mean? For a non-Sabbatarian, right, it means the life of Jesus as it is revealed in Scripture. Even for most Sabbatarian groups, testimony means the life or record or witness of Christ as the Scripture reveals him. But for a Seventh-day Adventist, testimony actually means IA, the spirit of prophecy / Ellen G. White writings, or the testimony. Yes, so whenever you hear testimony, for Adventist it means spirit of prophecy or Ellen G. White writings. I have a video on that alone that you can find in my comment section where I debunk Seventh-day Adventist teaching that the testimony means Ellen G. White writings. So I'm not going to go over that. But when it says to the law, what does it mean here? The Hebrew word for law spoken of there, it means Torah. And what does Torah mean? The Pentateuch, which is the first 5 books of Moses, or the Decalogue, which is the 10 commandments. So when you see Torah, it is speaking of either, it means the system of law, all 613 laws. If you do a research now and ask how many laws is within the Torah, it will tell you 613, and that includes the 10 commandments, because the 10 commandments, it is a part of the one law. So the 10 commandments and the book of the law, both of them together makes the Torah. The 10 commandments and the Pentateuch, first 5 books of Moses, both makes the Torah. So when Isaiah says to the law and to the testimony, if it speaks not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. Anything that contradicts the Torah, the 613 system of law, it is because there is no light in them. Why? At the time when this was written, the 613 laws was applicable. When this was written to the children of Israel, the 613 laws were still applicable. And this is why the time of when something is written is very much important. Right? The time in which something is written, it is very much important. One of the key factors where the scripture is concerned is that you must first understand what it means to the original audience before you can understand what it means to us. And what does this text here means to the original audience of whom it was written to, the children of Israel? When they read these texts, they understand it to mean that anything that goes in accordance with the Torah, the 613 law, the one system of law, which is 613 in total, anything that goes in contrary to it, no light is in it. So a Seventh-day Adventist will take this passage here and they will single out the laws that they want to single out. 10 commandments, they are going to tell you that this is showing you that the 10 commandments is applicable, that we shouldn't, that the Sabbath is still applicable, that the dietary laws is still applicable. They'll tell you that all the moral laws is applicable, and this verse is saying that. But this verse is not only showing that all the moral laws is applicable, it includes the ceremonial laws as well. At the time when this was written, both moral and the ceremonial laws were still applicable, and it is talking the entire system. It is not talking one part of the system alone. So what it means to the original audience is this: anything that goes in contrary to the 613 system of law, no light is in it. So when a Seventh-day Adventist use this text to say that we should keep the law, they're saying that we should keep all 613, since this is what the text meant initially to the original audience, and it still means the same now. If you're going to take it, a text, right, and I show you what it means to the original audience, and you're going to take it and apply it to this day and age, then you have to acknowledge that all 630 is still applicable, since that was what it was meant to the original audience. Just look at the Hebrew word. The Hebrew word is not talking 10 commandments alone. It is not talking Sabbath alone, or dietary laws alone, or only the moral laws alone. It's talking all 613. And if they still want to be stubborn and play smart, evidence of this, verse 19, which was talking about sorcery, wizard, right, and to persons with familiar spirits. It is not the 10 commandments that had forbidden that. It was one of the laws in the book of the law that Moses wrote, that God spoke through Moses to actually write in the book. It is not the 10 commandments. So that alone is a dead giveaway that you can't take the text to be talking, because right after God mentioned about persons seeking after wizard and familiar spirit, he makes reference to the law because the law forbids it. And what law forbids it? Not the 10 commandments, but one of the laws from the book of the law. So this goes to show you here that you cannot use law there and single it out and say 10 commandments, because the context alone shows you that you can't even single it out. The context alone shows you that. Verse 9, that it is in context, it's talking something from the book of the law. That is what triggered verse 20. Persons want to seek after wizard when the law forbids it. That is the book of the law now. So when you look at it and you think about it logically, you should ask yourself the question: why is the Seventh-day Adventist Church so abusive to the Bible? Why do they take the Bible and they isolate it from its context? Why do they switch the initial meaning of the text and the initial meaning of the verse in order to suit their own bias and their own teaching that the law is still to be kept for all time? But no matter how hard they try, it just cannot work. They can only use this verse to deceive the ignorant and persons who doesn't actually know what the verse means. But you, my viewers here, you know what it now means. So no Seventh-day Adventist should be able to use that text to try to tell you that you should keep the 10 commandments. Right? So, with that being said, one more thing. While this would have been said in Isaiah 8 verse 20, it was applicable then, but now this verse here is no longer applicable because we are no longer under the law. But if they want to play stubborn and they still want to use it, they must be consistent. And once they use this text to say that we must keep the 10 commandments, they must also agree that we should keep all 613, since this text was actually enforcing all 613 and not just the 10 commandments. With that being said, I end this video. If you enjoyed it, you know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, and share this video. Bye bye now.